All right, MJ, thank you very much for hanging out, finding some time to come and answer some questions and tell people your story. So, first of all, can you just give us a little bit of your background and then tell us about life prior to working together?
Uh, I'm from South Africa and was lucky enough that we met in Indonesia. I I still am not practicing at the moment. I'm a freediving instructor trainer. And I worked on Gili Air in Indonesia, the island, for 3 years as a permanently as a freediver. And before that, I also worked offshore on oil platforms, which I've gotten back into now. And yeah, then once I left Indonesia with my wife, we were traveling around a bit and changing jobs, worked in solar and bits and pieces. Eventually moved to Italy, where my wife is from, to deliver our daughter. And they started basically like a year and a half in which I wasn't allowed to work and didn't have anything like proper to do, except like deal with the baby. Help my wife. We were dealing with a baby, and anyone who's a parent knows that that's a job on its own. Um, yeah, and then like after a year and a half, I was like looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, no, this isn't working. I look like overcooked spaghetti. I can't deal with this. um, uh, and it was actually not now. The previous year, New Year's, one of my New Year's resolutions was I'm going to get back in shape. I need to change my body because I'm not happy with it. And eventually, I think it was in August, September, maybe in September, I think that I contacted you and I was like, dude, I need a personal trainer and I need you.
Yeah, I remember that. Um, like it's so easy to get, I guess, lost in life, especially when you have a kid as well.
Mm,
So I guess to clarify a few things, some of your goals, like you wanted to get in shape and change the look of your body and stuff, but what you said is you want to set some records for freediving.
Yeah, that's so I haven't been diving for a while now, like properly. Um, and when I was diving permanently, when I was living on the island, I did set some South African freediving records. Um, and this I'm very keen to get back into. We're now moving to Mallorca, the island in the Mediterranean. So one of my key moves there is to get the freediving school running again and get myself back in shape. Yeah, and then I want to get there's a couple of records that need to go. Um,
Love it.
After I broke the first ones, like some friends of mine, one guy broke it by 1 meter, and then another guy equaled him. But I feel like I have a lot more left in the tank, so I'm very keen to go and give it a burnout.
Yeah, awesome. Now I look forward to seeing that. So tell us a little bit
Oh,
how,
and just one, can I add something?
yeah,
In the discipline, and this is key why I needed to get into shape. The discipline that I do, it helps to be like thin and skinny because you use less energy. But when you're doing really long or deep dives, if you don't have enough muscle, you cannot sustain it because you start working anaerobically immediately. So lactic acid builds up and you run out of muscle basically to burn. So by the end of a dive, your legs feel like wood. You don't feel them anymore. You can't move your arms anymore. So one of the key things was I need to add muscle to be able to really go further and deeper like I want to.
yeah, awesome. It's super cool to see these specialized, really, really specialized sports. Um, so, we've been at it for a few months now. So tell us about how things are going for you now and what sort of changed with you and life since we've been working together.
Okay, so at the moment, Well, let me. I'll go back to the start. So initially,
All right.
when we started, I was uh, basically training from home, and in the beginning, it was very difficult for me because, well, still I'm at home. My wife works from home. Our daughter doesn't go to school yet. She's like 2 years old now, so she's a toddler. So she keeps you pretty busy. And just
Yep.
finding like the hour in the day in which you can say, okay, now I'm going to do my exercise is so difficult because my wife is, she works, she's got her own business and they do really well, but she's very, very busy. So it's kind of conflicting because she's got like set times in which she goes to a yoga and I have to try and work around it, but there's normal stuff has to happen as well. It's just, it's things that need to happen in the family. So in the beginning, I was finding it quite difficult to like keep up, not really enjoying it yet. And then I'd say it probably took about 6 weeks. And after 6 weeks, um, I started feeling the change from the exercise. I started feeling like, okay, shit, now I used to do 40 reps and it would kill me. Now I do 40 reps and I'm like, okay, should I do another 40 reps or what's supposed to happen now? I could feel the
Awesome.
difference and especially my core. Like immediately after the first 2 weeks of working with you, I had no more back pain. I have a lower back injury. I went down a waterfall in a whitewater kayak about 10 years ago and compressed my back. In the moment, I was just like, because I was a 22-year-old and nothing makes you stumble when you're that old, when you're 22.
Yeah.
But now I feel it. And now I can feel that gave me quite a knock. Then I went to work. So that's the other part of my job is I work offshore on oil platforms. So it's 12-hour shifts every day. Um, and went out there ready to go and gym and exercise. But after a 12-hour day, it's very difficult to get yourself fired up
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
gym. And it's physical work. Like it's not like I said 12 hours in a chair. I climb. It's climbing ladders, really working, doing a lot of physical work. I'm a rope access technician, so most of the time I'm hanging and abseiling as well. Um, but I feel like the key was just from the very first day that I was out there, I went to the gym every day. Even the first day when I got there, I was tired and I was just like, because you've got to get that habit in while you're there. Um, yeah, in this last job that I did, I was there for 90 days. So that's 90 days, 12-hour shifts every single day. You don't have a day off. There's no 6 days and Sunday. You take a chill day. It's 90 days, 12-hour day. It's 90 Mondays, one shot in a
Oof.
row. Um, yeah, and I just made it. It was a priority to get to the gym. And after 4 weeks on the platform, I started really seeing a huge difference in my body. Like I would put on my shirts and they would start getting tight. Even my pants, like my from all the squats, my pants were getting tight, and that was like that was real motivation. That was like, oh shit, now I can see this. Now
Awesome.
I can see this. I can feel this. And even though we kept getting fresh crew in on board, I was outworking everyone while going to the gym. And it's the usual. Everyone goes, no, I don't have time to go to the gym. I'm too tired. I've worked a 12-hour shift. Like, but in reality, when you go to the gym, it gives you more energy.
Yeah.
You're able to work harder for longer.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, no one should be working 12 hours a day every single day for the duration that we do. But it helps a lot. Like consistency in what I'm able to complete. Like my muscles, the stamina in my muscles are a completely different level. And overall, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like on a completely different. I feel completely differently. My wife, when I came back, she was like, "Well, who's this guy? Something's happened, and she's not aware of what's going on." Now, so for me, overall, like it's been really, my brain is sharper. I feel like I'm on top. I feel honestly like I've gone almost 10 years back in the way I feel. Feel stronger, smarter on it. Like I don't wake up
Fantastic.
sluggish in the morning. And now I never ever went to the gym. I hated the gym until now. Now I'm like, man, I can't wait to go to the gym. I'm an absolute junkie at the gym. I go to the gym sometimes I just go and it's like a not really an exercise day, but I just go and hang around, take a little jog on the treadmill just to be there, be in that environment.
That's
It's just
amazing.
yeah,
That's so good.
it's a lot of I get a lot of satisfaction out of it now.
Good, man. That's absolutely wonderful to hear. And finding that balance and finding the joy and pride in the work and putting in the effort and getting the results is just the best. It's so cool.
No, it's amazing.
So why don't you tell me then what has been your favorite part of the process?
Um, favorite part of the process. Well, I obviously the exercise I already spoke about. The other thing that I've also found that's really it's not exactly towards what your question now, but um, I guess it depends from person to person. But it's also I'm a little bit of an introvert at times, not in the sense that I don't talk to anyone, but I need time in which I don't talk to anyone just to recharge. And that's me. I put on my earphones, listen to podcasts, which are also refreshing to the soul. Um, Listen to podcasts, blast through um, my my training for the day, and it goes by in a flash. Get out of there, recharged. I feel so much better. Um, but obviously, the best part of of it all is seeing the results, like looking at yourself in the mirror and going, yes, and looking yourself at the mirror and I've never had this feeling ever before, these thoughts. Like I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, cool, I need to work a little bit more here on my chest, and I need to tone a little bit here. Like I don't want to say but basically it's like if you're feeling proud to look at yourself in the mirror and go, feeling proud of your body, and knowing that I'm in shape, I'm strong, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm good.
That's such a good feeling, man. And I'm real happy that you can you can have that. Like you did the work, you got the results. Like that's awesome. It's the best of everything. So, all right, what would you say to someone who might need the kind of support that you needed to get to this stage, but doesn't really know where to go, what questions to ask, who to trust, where to look? Like, because everyone's out there, like so many people could use some help, could use some structure, could use
Mm-hmm.
some accountability and some planning to get them where they want to be. But a lot of people don't know how to go about it. So, what advice would you give them?
um I think a big part of that is also just like kind of the human psyche, in which you're like, yeah, yeah, I know I need to get into shape next week. After this weekend, after my birthday, I need to party on my birthday, and then after my birthday, then I'm really gonna get on it.
It's always the birthday.
Um, it's always the birthday, and or the new year. The new year is probably also a pretty good one. Um, yeah, in the end, you just have to you have to decide for yourself, obviously, that I want to do this and get on it. But getting for me personally, working with you makes a big difference. I need that accountability. I need I if I miss a workout, I feel guilty because I know Josh is going to see that I missed my workout. And I'm like, no, 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 I cannot let him down. um and it's tough, guys. Like if he sees that you missed one workout, one set in your workout, he's like, why didn't you do that one? I didn't feel like it. That's not a good enough reason.
That's right.
And the best advice is just do it. You've got to you really just have to do it. Get a personal trainer, go with Josh, and just make the commitment. And I guess the biggest thing is just pushing through the first month, and then it gets easy. Then it gets easy, and then it's really a breeze. Everything's a breeze.
Awesome. Good advice. All right. I won't take up too much more of your time, but I got one more question. Well, it's not even a question. Just what words of wisdom would you like to share?
Words of wisdom.
Yeah. Anything from the journey, from life, whatever you got.
What have I got in the tank? You know, the quote that I'm thinking of, I cannot really say it on video, but I'll explain it. Okay.
All right.
Basically, and I think it kind of connects to doing this or getting yourself into shape. Sometimes in life, you just have to not care about anyone else, because the only way that you can look after someone else, your wife, your children, your family, is if you look after yourself. You cannot save people if you are halfway under the water. So sometimes you just need to, it's about being selfish, but it's about being selfish for the bigger picture. Because I think also that's also probably a very big excuses. I don't have time. But my family this. I don't have the money. I cannot afford to. Okay, if you cannot afford, that's fine. That drink 5 less beers on the weekend, and then you can afford to have a personal trainer. Because in the greater scheme of things, it's like it's easy to look at something and go, oh no, I can't afford that. But if you go look at how much you spend on crap, then you can afford it, and you're gonna get a lot more positive feedback. So yeah, words of wisdom is sometimes you just have to say, everyone's ass, I'm doing this for myself. And even if it's your children, and I don't, it's not a negative, meant in a negative way. Even if it's children, wife, family, sometimes you just have to take time and look after yourself so that you can look after others.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic parting thought. MJ, thank you very much for taking the time and sharing your story. And I really look forward to watching you get back in the water and smash some world records.
World records now.
Come on, shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars.
Too much
All right.
pressure. Too much pressure.
Fine. Some records. I look forward to seeing you smash some records. All right, man. Take care.
Cool. Cheers, Josh.